All right, cool. So my name is Dr. Kate Bowers. So I'm a new faculty here. I've kind of gone through a lot of the degree programs here. So I have a bachelor's in computer science, a master's in embedded systems, which is closer to computer engineering, and then PhD in computer science. And they're all from OU. So I've kind of gone through it quite a bit. Um, and yeah, so this is my second semester teaching, but I've been around here since 2008. So far I've basically loved it. And Dr. Hannah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Dr. Darren Hanna, and I'm in the electrical and computer engineering department. And Dr. Bowers and I go way back. Actually, we have some. I also have both computer science and computer engineering degrees. Both of us are computer science and computer engineers, and I have an undergraduate in computer science and engineering and a master's in computer engineering and a PhD in systems engineering. So I also do a lot of software and a lot of hardware. And today we're going to talk to you about computer engineering and computer science.
I feel like a lot of the time people get confused about the differences between the majors, and a lot of times when you ask people, they sort of give generic answers, and that it can be kind of difficult to figure out, okay, well, what exactly does that mean? So if we take the example of like a smartphone, okay, so I feel like everybody hopefully is used to the idea of a smartphone. Well, there's lots of different aspects to it that you may not have considered before. And so here's some examples of what each major might contribute towards putting a smartphone together. And so for example, a computer science major might be the person who's in charge of developing your smartphone apps. So, like the messages apps, or even, I don't know, like Google Drive, or like anything else that you might use. Where information technology is more kind of problem solving, where they might provide support either for the smartphone users, or they might also provide support like for the coders. So for the computer science people, there's lots of background coordination that has to go in order to share code between developers. So IT might provide a lot of information, or a lot of the support for that. And then there's also electrical engineering, where they're more in charge of developing like the internal hardware and the circuitry that goes into it. So obviously your phone like has a circuit board just in it, and that's kind of controls what runs everything. And then computer engineering is kind of a halfway point between computer science and electrical engineering. So computer engineering might be like optimizing battery consumption, where it requires knowledge of how the smartphone apps run and how they use the battery, but it also requires knowledge about the hardware, like how the battery is connected, and the power drain and things like that, and it just sort of the physics behind that. Then there's also mechanical engineering, where they might analyze the manufacturing process of the phones. So like in a factory, you have all these robots that might assemble the phones. Mechanical engineers might work on the development for those robots. They also might look at like the material usage. So for example, the glass on your smartphone. Okay, so what's most durable and not going to shatter? And so, but also, still pretty user friendly and very responsive. And then there's industrial systems engineering, where they might look at how to optimize the manufacturing process. So when you put everything together, which steps should come first, which steps can be done in parallel, how do you position things around the factory? And this is not saying that these are guaranteed what you would work on for a smartphone. These are just some examples to try and help illustrate some of the differences about what each major might focus on.
So just a little bit about computer science and engineering at Oakland too. For some of you, you may not know whether or not you want to go into computer science or computer engineering at all, right? Or be an engineer, computer scientist. Well, some of the telltale signs are, are you creative? Do you like creating things? You like, thinking about how things could be different or things that don't exist. It could be very innovative. It can be, better software, better things that better security. Are you a problem solver? Like Dr. Bowers said, engineering and computer science, it's about solving problems, and that can come in many forms. Of course, self-driving vehicles, or problems for people who have handicap, or other types of assistance with people. It could be problems, control problems, or software configurations for alternative energy huts. Everything, really, most things that often you think are, okay, that's probably mechanical engineering, have computers in them, right? Whether they're embedded chips on the computer engineering side, or I mean, it's really an and software to operate it, right? So that, especially nowadays, apps, to operate the things. Really, computer science and engineering gets involved both in in lots of different things. Whether it's a desktop computer or applications, 3D to this 3D, right? I mean, these are the innovations, this watch to that watch, right? These are really computer scientists and engineers who advanced all of these things, or this plant floor to that, controlling robots. And the, of course, from that car to the autonomous vehicles and things like that as well. A common question people want to know is, well, but will I just be working on a computer all the time? Will I get stuck behind a desk? And really the answer is not, no. I mean, there are jobs where you're never behind a desk. You're working on embedded systems or software for airplanes, for example, or you travel a lot and see the world. You can also, of course, work with people on the phone, remotely, in person, or you can work at a desk. Some people like that. They say, yeah, no, I want to be behind a desk. I want to create all day. So really, it's what you make of it. That's what's really neat about computer science and engineering is there are jobs available and internships available where you can do either of these things and really get to pick and land in a position that it matches what you're looking for. So at Oakland, can you change your mind about a chosen field after you start your classes? The answer is absolutely. We actually have a common engineering core, which allows you to switch around and do things easily. Can you start working in internships like we've talked about? Absolutely. Many students do. What graduate degrees are possible with an undergrad in computer science or computer engineering? Many. There are, of course, graduate degrees in those areas. And a lot of times people will get graduate degrees in other areas where they apply things. They might do software for psychology. So they might get a graduate degree in psychology, for example. And then, of course, will I find a job after graduation? Well, there are literally hundreds and hundreds of companies in this area and nationwide. Or maybe you want to start your own and be your own boss and be the entrepreneur. All of those students who graduated from Oakland have done all of those things. I pulled from the BLS 2021 statistics of starting salaries for different folks. You can see computer engineering and computer science are among the highest in starting salaries and in demand in among the engineering. And that's been a trend for quite a while too. So in the end, you might become a computer engineer or computer scientist for the challenge, the money, the job opportunities, or the flexibility, or all of that. I mean, and the nice thing about it is you have the opportunity to change the world. And at Oakland, we're dedicated to helping you find what you love doing and learn how to develop a career and earn money doing it.